Hey there everybody, SpaceWindu here from the FX Saber forums. I'm here to show you a really special custom lightsaber I just finished up. This one is from my friend Paul. Now Paul is a police officer who directs traffic with his lightsaber. So right now he's using Makoto lightsabers, and he contacted me to create for him a lightsaber with the Neopixel strip blade technology. So this one here utilizes the Plecter Labs Prizm 5.1, and that supports the Neopixel. This one has the double pixel, or the double strip blades that I made for Paul. I'm making him two. One is the photon, which is the green photon, and one is the enhanced blue. So I'll show you guys that in a second. You can see the DIN plug there, which I use to run either my string blades or my strip blades. I have a custom shroud around the MHS part, the MHS emitter. What I did for Paul here, I know since he's a police officer, I don't know if he's using gloved hands at all, but I didn't want him to have to use a tool to be able to tighten the blade retention. So the blade retention screw here is just a nice knurled, let's see if I get the camera to focus on this. There we go. Okay, so you can see the weathering that I applied to his hilt to go along with the leather wrap, which runs pretty much the entire length of the hilt, real leather wrap. And you got the two buttons up top here. The left button is the activation switch, and the right button is his auxiliary switch to operate, like blaster blocks and lockups and stuff off the Prizm. I gave him a D-ring here towards the bottom of the hilt. This is secured here so the D-ring doesn't flop around. It's a little bit stiff there so that it doesn't make a bunch of noise. What you can do is you can unscrew the pommel, get the saber turned on, and then you might need some kind of tool to just remove this kill key right here. See if I can get it to focus on my little end cap here. It's like it wants to focus on the screen in the background, and there is a reason for that screen in the background. I'll show you in a second. Okay, there we go. We're focused on Paul can get to his SD card right there, RICE port, and this is the kill key. So basically you just need to pop out the kill key. Now you don't need to keep the kill key in. Basically going to put the kill key in and ship it to you, but you don't really need to have the kill key in. My personal belief, I haven't been experienced with these Neopixels like I have been with, like, let's say my string blades. I made over 70 string blades and many string blade lightsabers, so I know so much about that. But with the Neopixel, I feel like I'm kind of at the beginning still. Now my belief is that leaving the blade in and the kill key out drains the battery. Maybe Irv can tell me if I'm right or wrong, but my belief is if you're going to leave the kill key out, maybe leave the blade out too. Otherwise, replace the kill key, completely cut off any line to the battery. Even though the Prizm board is supposed to be cutting off the blade, cutting off the power to the board, except for a minimal amount, I do believe that it is there's some kind of draw that I noticed in one of the sabers. I'm not sure if it was just that one saber, or if there really is a more of a slight draw than without a blade. So anyway, what I did here, just to give Paul the most runtime possible, because he is going to be out there. Like I said, I'm not joking around. He's out there directing traffic with his lightsaber. What I'm going to do is, if I'm allowed to, I'm just going to link the video of Paul on the news. You guys might have seen him on the news directing traffic with his lightsaber, and that's what he's going to use this for. So just to get him the brightest blade possible, running for the longest time, what I did here was I made a pack like I've never made before. I made a pack of 26 650, two of them. So 26 650 is like double the size of 18 650. Basically, like the size of it, like a chunky, almost like a C, or like almost like a D battery. Two of those in parallel, just for the most runtime possible. Okay, and to be able to see the blade, I'm not completely sure. You know, he's gonna have total visibility of the blade, like in direct sunlight, but just to give him the best possible chance, we're using enhanced blades. So the photon tube is one of the blades he's getting, and also he's getting an enhanced blue. So both of these blades are going to have a drilled out tip, as you can see, just to get extra fullness in the tip, like I always try to do. Has Makoto foam. My opposite male dim plug is what's in the hilt, right? So that's going to plug into the hilt. And on this lightsaber, what I did to fit those batteries, basically, as I planned out the install on this custom lightsaber, was to do reverse sound. So the speaker is up at the top here, like right underneath the buttons. There is some vibration, or a slight, you can almost feel when the saber's on, which is cool. I really like that. It's in a speaker housing in here, secured, and you can feel when the saber's on. It's a 2-watt bass speaker from Custom Saber Shop. You can ever so slightly feel that on. And right behind that is the monster pack, 3.7 lithium ion, 2650 times 2 in parallel, with a PCB from the Custom Saber Shop. So I hope all that holds up, because like I said, it's the first time I've done that, just to hopefully double the runtime there for Paul. Okay, so let me just plug in the saber, or the blade, into the hilt. Undo the retention screw a little bit. Okay, so with this photon tube, now here's the deal, you guys. Like the green photon's going to disallow certain colors, so it's going to enhance green, it's going to enhance blue. Right, so we can change colors by hitting the two buttons at the same time. So the next color I went to, let me show you in the screen. If you could see what's behind me in the screen, in between what you're seeing in the foreground, what you're seeing in the background, is kind of like what it is true to life. Okay, so the camera's blowing it out a little bit. For you guys, it looks like it's got a completely white core. To me, I'm seeing the blue LEDs inside the photon tube, very nice neon green with neon edges, or it's like a cool mint green with neon edges, very full. As I cycle through the colors here, you know, you get some weird colors. You know, check out my other videos. Paul's gonna be able to see this in person. These weird reds, these weird pinks and stuff like that are available here now. Maybe his daughter wants to play with these pinks, these in enhanced blue. You get some really cool pinks and purples. I'll show you that really cool crimson. So as you cycle through the colors, you're going to notice you're not going to find any purple, because purple changes inside the photon green. It's not going to show up as purple, but you do get nice reds. Okay, for some reason, I look in the screen in the back, something in between those two saber blades is what you'll see in person. So it is very bright, but maybe it's not so white as this, okay? And the cool thing to look at in the screen, like look at the blaster deflex, Plecter Labs, Prizm 5.1, awesome randomized blaster deflex, which can be all configured. Like I showed you through the R.I.C.E port, all these things can be configured: sound, light, motion, different levels, even accent LEDs if there were some, or the way the buttons work, or what type of button you have, can all be configured in the R.I.C.E software, which you use the custom Saber Shop plug to plug in through the bottom of there. Now, that also can control the speed of the ignition and the scrolling and stuff like that. Like, as you can tell, this font, which is #1, Corellian, this is one that Paul wanted. I love Corellian too, so this is a Genesis Custom Sabers font, and this is an awesome font. Very powerful Jedi font. And look how fast the retraction is on that. The ignition is not so fast. I think the next font, Dantari, is going to be a really fast ignition. You'll see that. So let's just get a Jedi color on this one, because alright, so this is one thing I wanted to show you guys, which is the yellow inside the photon tube actually looks really, really nice. It's like a really nice Farfalla gold. You could look in the screen for the blaster deflex. You know, you can choose even the colors of your FOC, your flash on clash and stuff like that. This is another cool, like, lime green. Anyway, you know, you can cycle through these, but like I said, there's just a few colors you're not going to see, like purple, like blue. Blue is going to come through here as a green, okay? So for those colors, what you can do, what you want to do is, when you take the blade out, just pull straight out. Okay, so hopefully I didn't forget to say anything about the saber itself. I'll just keep playing with the colors here, but okay, so like this is that yellow that we were just playing with. In the blue, you are able to get so many colors. The cool thing about the blue is that the color seems to kind of go to the edge more, very even. Let me just show you a couple of these colors, and this is like a really cool aqua, and I just want to show Paul the rest of the fonts here. So this is more blues. You know, these blues are not available on the photon green, so here they're coming through, and as you can tell in the background, the different laser deflects. Let's get to the purple. This is like a nice dark blue, but since the purples aren't available on the photon, certain colors, like Paul just wanted to be able to go through. So you know, this one you get some sweet purples. Very cool. And even, you know, some of the coolest reds, like look at this awesome pinkish purple, but you're getting like these great reds here too, and even the yellows, the greens and stuff. Now maybe they're not as bright as with the photon, right? But they're enhanced. They're in this blue enhanced tube, and they're pretty sweet. So let's just go to the next font. Dantari, which I think is awesome.
My mentor taught me everything about the Force, even the nature of the dark side.
This is a sweet crimson, like a Darth Vader red, maybe a little pinker than Darth Vader, but this is really nice. This is the font called Anger. This is a Force Awakens font. Rule of One. Oh, this is a sweet blue. And then in any font, you just hit the both buttons, you can start cycling through. Corellian again. So what the fonts on here you should have is number 1 Corellian, number 2 Danteri, number 3 Rogue, number 4 Anger, number 5 TFA Graflex, and number 6 Rule of One. And anybody wants any of those, you can go on saberfont.com. They have fonts for blasters and lightsabers. Alright, so real quick, it's getting late for me here, but I'm going to show you guys, I'll just swing this around real quick. So, okay, I think the camera stopped for a second while I was just trying to wrap this up, but obviously blabbering too much. But I just wanted to thank Paul for this Sabertunity, be able to make him this lightsaber, and hope you put it to good use. I know you will. And yeah, so thanks for checking it out as well. I hope everybody likes it. Most of all, Paul, who this is going to tomorrow. So yeah, that's about it. Custom lightsaber, got a bunch more on the way, you guys. I'm working on a few at once, so there's going to be a couple more videos coming up pretty soon with a few more customs. So I will talk to you guys in the next one.